What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. I'm once again joined by Tyler. And in this video, we want to discuss how the Knights of Ren were awful, were wasted, whatever you want to kind of look at it. We want to generally discuss how the Knights of Ren were used in this movie and also possibly over all three. Okay, so this is going to be a back and forth. I'm going to go first. I'm going to hand over to Tyler. And this is something that I think has bounced around in a lot of the videos we've already done previously. I know Tyler and I were recording this separately, so I don't know what he's saying about this topic. I don't know what he said about the other videos because I'm just recording these all in one big bulk. What I'll say about the Knights of Ren, I've already said some of it. I've bounced around the topic in other videos I've done. This is just a missed opportunity. That's really what it is. And it should, in a way, kind of make you angry, honestly, because the Knights of Ren could have been something cool. Now, could they have ever carried the movie? Could they have ever been like the main focal point of the movie? Absolutely not. Okay, and I'm not saying that, and even throughout this video of whatever I end up saying, I'm not petitioning to make them the main stars of these movies, but the way they were introduced in 7, and even kind of like the lore that was behind them, the books, just and of what Kylo Ren really was in general, right? These Knights of Ren were people that should have been feared. These Knights of Ren had theories going around, or were they like Luke's Jedi that Kylo, turned, and like how powerful can they be? And if he's the master of them, he must be really good because they're really good, right? It's a lot of like you can kind of just make up your own stories, but they were legit. And again, some of even the background books or the books leading up to a movie or the books after the movie, they do kind of talk about the Knights of Ren being pretty darn powerful. And what did we get? Well, we got Rian Johnson literally forgetting they existed. That was the first mistake they had in Episode 8. Okay, now we go to episode, and you can't really talk about it more because he literally didn't include them whatsoever. Big mistake. That is really where you could have introduced them, made them cool, and then now you go into 9 fearing them. And what we got is Episode 9, they were in a couple scenes, maybe 3 or 4, and let's dissect some of these scenes. They mainly were just a group of individuals that looked cooler than others, but that's it. All they were cooler looking enemies that just walk through the streets, are going to these different planets, following our heroes, and they're always too late. They're always behind them. They're always looking in the wrong places. They capture Chewie, but then they go to the wrong ship, or they load him into a second ship that wasn't there in the first shot. So they're doing these really stupid things, and they don't. I mean, that's nothing. Like that is not something. That's something just stormtroopers or first order troopers could do. I mean, you could have just had the white suits troopers and that's it. And it would have been the exact same thing for all of those scenes, by the way. Every single one of those scenes would have been the exact same. They did absolutely nothing. The biggest thing was obviously basically at the end when they just turn on Kylo. Now I know pretty much that everybody has, I guess, sworn their allegiance now to Emperor Palpatine. I don't necessarily know why. The First Order should still definitely be their own things, and they are, but they're absolutely not in this movie. Even though Kylo's kind of following along, but he definitely doesn't have he doesn't have the Emperor's best interest in his mind, right? He's like, okay, well, I'll go to Rey, but I'm not going to kill her. I'm actually going to get her to help me kill you. And that's it. He never really, like, I guess some of the First Order and the Emperor says, like, hey, you fought with me in the old wars, like, you're going to help me here, too. He has them. Some of the First Order has definitely, kind of infused itself with the Last Order. I get that. But the Knights of Ren, like, okay, well, they just turn on him, right? Because now they're, like, the Emperor's bodyguards all of a sudden. And that fight, I'll tell you, I like a lot visually. Visually, I like a lot of that last like half an hour of the movie. I thought it was very, very well. Like a lot of it was really nice to look at. There was a lot of cuts that that keeps going back and forth. All that aside, and the decision making. And if you really think about what's happening, I hate. But in general, I liked a lot of it. I especially liked Rey fighting the Emperor's, like the troopers that were like shooting blasters. I loved a lot of that. I loved the Jedi talking to Rey. I loved hearing their voices again. So like that stuff was cool. I actually did like when Rey drops the lightsaber like behind her back and Kylo picks it up and he kind of like shrugs. He's like, hey, and then he like goes and fights them. That was okay. The choreography was fine. Taking them all out. But like at the same time, like Kylo gets beat up before that. He gets beat up like a ninth grader in high school. Like they're just like kicking him and they're hitting him with like the butts of their like the ends of their weaponry. They have sharp edges on the other side, right? And if they're supposed to try and kill him, why are they like kicking him and punching him in the face and hitting them with the back end of their weapons that are just like blunts? They're not actually like the sharp ends. why are they like treating him like he's in high school, right? And then they die, and then like yeah, the choreography's cool, but he takes them all out. Like yeah, we expect him to take them all out, but he really does it with not much like effort. Like he really does it. Like yeah, he gets beat up, and then once he gets his lightsaber, he pretty much handles them very, very easily. He doesn't really get hurt after that. He takes them out very, very quickly, and they kind of just are gone. And then he joins Rey, and it's a cool shot, you know, when they both turn on the lightsaber and it has them facing the Emperor. Like that's a cool shot, but like. All right, so we've done nothing with the Knights of Ren. They were supposed to be cool. They were supposed to be kind of menacing. Maybe they could have fought Luke in 8. Maybe they could have fought Rey at some point. But no, they disappear entirely in Episode 8. They're not in 7 either, I guess. To go, like, I'm blaming RJ in 8. But even in 7, like, you introduced them in that, like, when you could see them in the rain scene. But then they're not actually in the movie. So that's also on JJ. And then in 9... yeah, you kind of have run out of time now for us to really care about them or to fear them in any way. So you've already, you know, you've exhausted your resources. There's really nothing you can do going into 9 now. Again, you really should have done that in 8. But they could have done something in 9. Instead, again, they're walking around planets, always behind our heroes. They're like Donald and Goofy in Kingdom Hearts. The first Kingdom Hearts where like Donald and Goofy are always just in the room next to Sora when they're supposed to find each other. It's like that. It's like they're just never in the right spot. And it's like you could have replaced them with anybody and had the exact same things happen. And then they go out like little weaklings against Kylo. And I just really laugh at the thought of Kylo getting kicked in the face like a 9th grader. Like, it's just, then that is what happens. And honestly, that was just a stupid, stupid thing to do. But I really think, you know, wasted, awful, whatever you want to use as the word, it was a wasted opportunity. Like, they had these guys that they did absolutely nothing with in the entire trilogy. Again, would it have saved the trilogy? No. Would it have been a focal point of the trilogy? No. But it would have been something you could have added to these movies. And instead, they became waste. They became like laughing stocks at some point. They became literally forgotten in an entire movie. People forgot that they existed, including the director of that film, which is the last person you want to forget about characters. So overall, just a wasted opportunity in general. So I'm going to hand it over to Tyler to see what he thinks.
The Knights of Ren officially are completely useless. They were introduced, obviously, in The Force Awakens in the vision that Rey has when she touches Luke's lightsaber. But here's what's weird about that scene. They make it seem like it's either a vision of the future or a vision of the past. Turns out it was neither. It could have been the past, but they don't even show us what it would have been. So we have no idea. Still, we don't know who they are, and I'm not going to read a comic about it. I am not going to read a comic. I don't care if there's a comic out. I'm not reading it because I shouldn't have to. But you have the Knights of Ren. They're these assassins or these mercenaries that follow Kylo Ren, right? Ben Solo, Kylo Ren. They do nothing in The Rise of Skywalker. They're sent to find and capture Rey. Every time they manage to find out where Rey is, but they never actually seem to get her. They don't ever speak. They don't ever do anything. They're always too late. The only time that they actually did anything in this movie is so they arrested Chewie. Good job. You arrested a two-legged dog, basically. I know it's like 10 feet tall, but still, you didn't even beat him up. You just caught him. You never catch Rey. You never even fight. You don't even fight any of the heroes. The only time that they fight is Ben Solo. That's it. And Ben Solo takes them all on very easily. I thought they were supposed to be like almost like elite fighters. They're not even good. Their entire character, the entire mystery behind him it was just a waste. And what's weird is they're brought back in this movie without any, I don't even know why they were brought back. They don't even say where they were in Episode 8. It's just bizarre to me why they even bothered bringing them back. I mean, I guess, again, you showed a vision in 7, so you kind of got to do something with them. You just got to kill them off, I guess is the easiest way. But they're just so useless. They're meaningless. They're useless. For some reason, they were obeying Kylo Ren, but then when Kylo Ren changes to being Ben Solo, then their new master is the Emperor. But does that mean that at one point they were Snoke's in Snoke's command? It's all very strange now because it seems like their allegiance just kind of changes all the time. They don't really seem to have like an allegiance. and they don't really seem to do anything at all. I don't even have that much to say about them because they're so dumb. They're literally a complete waste. They did literally nothing in this movie. They're in a way they're almost the biggest letdown because I was hoping, like, you know what, finally maybe we can finally have Rey fight the Knights of Ren, or maybe we can even have Rey and Kylo Ren / Ben Solo team up and fight the Knights of Ren and have like a really cool battle. Nope, we didn't get that at all. They're just a total waste. They're literally a complete waste. In fact, let's put it this way. They were introduced in 7, right? The new characters that were introduced in this movie, Zori and Janna, they did more than the Knights of Ren in this movie, and the Knights of Ren were introduced 2 movies ago. Think about that. The Knights of Ren were introduced 2 movies ago. They did nothing in this movie. Anytime they were in it, it's because they showed up, and it's like, just missed them. That was their role in this movie. And then the only time they do anything is to beat up their previous leader and lose within a minute. Janna and Zori, the new characters introduced in this movie, and we got backstory to both of them, did more than the Knights of Ren. How does that happen? This is a joke. The Knights of Ren suck. I'm starting to wonder where JJ is at. I understand they had a lot to do, but then either you make the movie a little bit longer or you write the script a little bit better where you can fit things in that make sense. Tie in maybe the Knights of Ren found or helped clone or whatever the Emperor. Just do something with them. They didn't do anything with them at all. Maybe in the beginning, maybe you have, maybe not just Kylo Ren and the Stormtroopers hunting people down. Maybe you have Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren going around and show multiple planets and they're killing all these people. Show that they're evil and they actually do stuff. They didn't even do that. They couldn't do anything. They're a complete waste.
So guys, let us know in the comments below, what do you think about the Knights of Ren? Do you think they were a wasted opportunity? What would you have done differently, maybe to have had them be a bigger part, or just generally better in these 3 movies, episodes 7, 8, 9? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and we are just going to keep chugging along. We got tons of more Star Wars videos for you guys, new videos every single day for you. Hopefully, you guys have liked what we've done so far, and we hope to see you guys in the next video.